Punch, the Premium Times, the Guardian, the Daily Post, the Daily Trust, and other papers that we're going to be touching on the show this morning. Our first story from the Punch. This one says House leadership pro G5 reps plot to scuttle PDP plans. Away from that one, you find National Assembly proposes jail term for Ponzi scheme promoters. AMCON bars Arik Air founder from airline premises. So the major story, this one says Tinubu won presidential poll, INEC tells Tribunal. There are writers to that says President-elect clinched 1/4 of valid votes cast in 29 state electoral umpire. Losing FCT, IRF hiccups can't invalidate APC victory, says INEC. And some more stories from the front page of the Punch newspaper. 256 stranded Nigerians rescued from Libya, Chad. Roads Vivo, Jandor ask Tribunal to sack Sanwo-Olu. Assault, police to begin trial of 3 Rivers Kano cops. And mob beats OAU student to death over stolen phone. Supplementary poll holds in Rivers Saturday, INEC. Still on the Punch, Trump shelves drop-in presidential bid despite facing criminal charges. And some more stories. Benue government suspend enforcement of anti-grazing law temporarily. Police arrest 2 for killing Ondo driver. Leaked audio clarify position federal government, tells Peter Obi. And let's take a look at the Premium Times. Our first story here from the Premium Times newspaper says reps probe missing 48 million barrels of crude oil, summons Malami, Ahmed, others. And some more stories. Wike backs PDP protesters, says he doesn't trust INEC. This is coming from Wike, of course. Why Amechi moved against me. Hadiza Bala Usman opens up a new book. Lagos governorship, PDP files election petition, wants APC LP disqualified. Nigerian government, CJID, others host summit on animal feed. APC, INEC ask election petition court to dismiss Obi's petition challenging Tinubu's victory. Some more stories on the Premium Times. FRSC confirms 12 deaths in Ebonyi road accident. Nigeria needs innovative technology to achieve sustainable feed production. Minister. Alleged negligence. Imo monarch accuses Nigerian hospital of causing son's death. FRSC confirms 6 dead in Cross River road accident. Ekiti University suspends academic activities over students' protest. We'll take a couple more from the Premium Times. Rivers, police officers who assaulted motorists arrive Abuja for trial. This one also says Peak Milk apologizes over offensive Good Friday advert. And I think that's the much that we can take from the Premium Times. Moving over to The Nation. And the first story here says Wike opposes moves by PDP opposition to seize leadership of 10th National Assembly. INEC to Tribunal. Obi's petition should be dismissed. Government network partner to improve use of sexual reproductive care products. Incoming government must deepen reforms on economic export diversification. Hajj fare shouldn't exceed 3 million naira. NACON wants state boards. Akpabio still in race for 10th Senate president, says group. Or still on The Nation newspaper, Zulum extends Borno teachers' retirement age by 5 years. Tinubu support group expresses hope for better Nigeria. Nigeria to lose $23 billion to crude theft this year, Gbajabiamila warns. Atiku didn't meet conditions to win, INEC tells Tribunal. Clarify your stand on alleged audio chat with Oyedepo. Federal government challenges Obi. And still on The Nation newspaper, let's take something from the entertainment industry. This one says, old photo of basket mouth, AY surfaces as feud escalates. And from sports, Champions League, Man City put 3 goals behind Bayern at Etihad. All right, and some more stories. Moving over to the Daily Post Nigeria. This one says, former Anambra governor dies at 78. You can't force Igbos into war, Ohanaeze to Ekpa on claiming to be Biafran Prime Minister. Election Tribunal, LP Obi's prayers are not grantable. INEC tells court to dismiss suit. Missing crude, Reps Committee begins investigation into missing $2.4 billion oil. Some more stories on the Daily Post. From the Daily Post, plots to scuttle handover to Tinubu, political assassinations loom. Primate Olabayo, Primate Theophilus Olabayo has raised an alarm there. And some more stories. This one says fuel subsidy controversy over $800 million World Bank loan to Nigeria. And still on the Daily Post, Peter Obi not qualified to contest presidential poll. APC tells tribunal gunmen kidnap businessman, kill one, injure another in Kano. All right, and taking a look at the Guardian newspaper, this one says Nigeria's industrial base weaker over poor credit support from banks, and that's on the business corner of the Guardian newspaper. At 95, struggle continues for a better Nigeria, says Adebanjo. World Bank sees 2% output growth in 2023. Private school operators and burden of multiple charges. I guess that's an editorial there. You can't drag Igbos into another war. Ohanaeze tells Ekpa. Imo LP to hold ward congresses. Guba primary tomorrow, Friday. IPOB declares Monday sit-at-home nullity in Famous. Minister urges our team to curb GBV in motor parks. 20 observer group alleged fraud in Imo North senatorial poll. And some more stories from the sports corner. Fans want Crystal Palace's Eze Olise to solve Eagles' midfield problem. And some more story. Challenge monetary issues in special court. Small business owners told. And that is, of course, the business side of the Guardian newspaper. And let's take a look at this one from the Daily Trust newspaper. Don't plunge Nigeria into crisis. This one is from okay, that's gone away. Okay, don't plunge Nigeria into crisis. Iowa elders warn Obi. Leaked audio, federal government, ACF, others blast Obi. Reps finger Malami Ahmed, others in $2.4 billion oil revenue scam. Questions over on ending killings in Benue. No force can stop Tinubu's inauguration. This is coming from Umai. Jaji joins speakership race. Ask APC to prioritize genuine reconciliation. And still on the Daily Trust newspaper, why Nigeria struggles with electricity distribution. And this is one from the experts right there. Moving away from that one and still on the Daily Trust, Wike fighting me for supporting Atiku, says Dino Milaye. Why we sealed Plateau Assembly Police. And this one says Nigeria now a laughing stock over outcome of presidential poll. Atiku campaign. APC support groups demand Lukman's resignation. APC again masterminding crisis in LP youth leader. And I think that's the much that we can take from the from the front page this morning. Now we're going to go on that commercial break, and when we come back, we'll dive into the analysis. Stay with us. The Break It On 32 FM.
FM 94.9.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account. Make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp sharp because life dey simple with Momo.
Màámi, ṣé gbogbo ife Bonvita ilẹ̀ fẹ́ pín?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, ó ṣàmọ̀ pé àkókò yìí ní ṣe pẹ̀lú nǹkan pínpín.
Torí ẹ̀ ní Bonvita ṣe ń pín 50 gíráàmù lórí ìdí alátùrọ̀ onígíráàmù 104.5 kọ̀ọ̀kan. Àwọn ife wọ̀nyí á jẹ́ ti bọ̀dá Musa, alábàágbé wa, ìyàwó wọn, Uncle K.
Lákòókò yìí, ẹ jẹ́ gbádùn àfikún 50 gíráàmù lórí ìdí Bonvita alátùrọ̀ 104.5 gíráàmù tẹ́ bá rà. Ìyẹn túmọ̀ sí àfikún ìṣaralóore dídára ti Bonvita. Bonvita, ó kún fún èròǹgbà rere.
32 FM Play and Win Show. Enjoy radio like never before. Radio that gives you more. Radio that makes you happier. Calling on your radio. Play some game and win some cool cash.
Let's do this.
Do what?
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
32 FM Play and Win Game Show. Every day from 2 to 2:30 p.m. on the Laughter Station, 32 FM 94.9. You, our listener, get to call in on your radio. Play some game with Lumi and win yourself some fantastic prizes. I bet you don't want to miss this.
Ìfẹ́ tí kò lábàwọ́n ni ìfẹ́ ìyá jẹ́. Bẹ́ẹ̀ kò sí ohun tó dùn tó bíi Indomie alájẹpọnu lákọlọ. Nítorí náà, fi ìfẹ́ hàn pẹ̀lú Indomie.
They say there is love in sharing, and we at INT'L believe there is also joy in sharing. So, as you go about your day in this holy month of Ramadan, from Sahur to Iftar, think about a friend, brother, sister, colleague, or even stranger. With the Happily Ever Iftar products that we have curated, you can now share the blessings of the season affordably. Visit www.altmall.ng for more information. Buy now, pay later.
INT'L. Shop more. Pay easy.
You did dull yourself this afternoon. You did dull yourself this afternoon. You did dull yourself this afternoon. No allow any dulling for your life, oh. Enjoy that your break moment with 5 Alive Pulpy. Now correct enjoyment will go cool your body, come ginger and join. Make you use the enjoyment where they inside 5 Alive Pulpy take hold your side. They available for different delicious flavors. 5 Alive Pulpy, filled with life.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
Thirty-two FM 94.9, filling the world with laughter. It's time to dive into the analysis of the front pages this morning of the headlines. I am DENIKE Ademuago.
And I'm GBOLABO Famous School. Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, GBOLABO. DENIKE, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
And let's take a look at this story. Our first story here says Buhari deserves commendation for diversifying from oil. Femi Adesina, the special advisor on media and publicity to the president, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, has disclosed that the president deserves commendation for Nigeria for diversifying economy of the country from oil. How has the president been able to do this, and what does diversifying from oil mean or means?
Yes, diversifying from oil, especially to the agri sector, is to be able to shore up revenue in terms of non-oil revenue, in terms of what we produce, what we add value to, even in crude form, and what we can export out of the country to be able to gain forests. For the period under review, I think the federal government has fared better than it used to be in the area of non-oil revenue, especially in terms of diversification. If you also look at it critically, President Muhammadu Buhari is one of the presidents that have made certain commitments in the area of diversification. Don't forget, before the advent of oil, agriculture was the mainstay of the Nigeria economy. And as at that time, it was the bedrock of our entire economy. But the discovery of oil made our government officials to become very lazy inability to think outside the box. We go camping out to the Federal Capital Territory to get allocation at the end of every month. If you look at it critically, of course, from what Femi Adesina said, is it what was actually intended, even the level of relative progress that have been made? The point really is that the government has made a lot of efforts in the area of diversification, but it is still not up to the projection of this same government, because efforts in agri sector, especially in rice production, wheat production, and some other produce in the country that the Buhari administration wanted to achieve, they were not able to substantially achieve them as a result of general insecurity in the land, because farmer has the challenges of going to their farm. For example, in my own area, as I speak to you this morning, it's about 3 to 4 months that they have been allowed access to their farm. Others have sacked them from their farmland. You understand? So they can't even go. They can't even do their normal business. And it's purely agrarian area wherein they go to farm, make ends meet, produce plantain, produce cocoa, and what have you. So all of this have become like a mirage.
So Femi Adesina is tooting broken horns, yeah.
Yes, if you look at it critically, Femi Adesina may be speaking politically, but the effort of the federal government is still not enough in terms of food production. Because if we put it on the table this morning, which area of food production have we been able to substantially excel in terms of meeting local production, local consumption, and at the end of the day, making set for export to end forest? If we are not able to do that in any of the agri sector, it means that we are only paying lip
Would
service.
we say that it's as a result of this diversification? Because there was a statement by the House of Representatives Speaker yesterday, Femi Gbajabiamila, where he lamented that Nigerians dwindling revenue from the oil sector, and he says that the country is losing $700 million monthly to crude oil theft. So they were trying to diversify, and then they lost sight of what was important.
See, the purpose of diversification should not be because we feel that we can't get enough revenue from oil again. It should be purposeful. It should be going back to the drawing board, doing best what we are very good at. What is our area of comparative advantage? Economically speaking and agriculturally speaking, we have a lot of things that we can lay our hands on. But because of laziness, inability to think outside the box, as our government officials, we are finding ourselves in the situation where we are today, wherein we rely over 90% of our revenue now come from oil. Apart from taxation and every other area, what is agric bringing on board in terms of what we can produce locally? We have variable lands here and there. So it is now left for the government to harness this. So my point really is that Buhari administration has made conscious efforts in diversifying the economy, especially into the agric sector, to be able to show up non-oil revenue in terms of agric. But those efforts have not been substantial enough to give us all that we needed or all that we wanted as a country. Effort is being made, but at some point, the whole effort of government is being eroded. I just cited a scenario where in a particular community, for the past 4 months, they can't go to their farm. Others will invade their farm. They will slash their plantain, give it to their animals to eat, and nobody is coming to their respite. And that has resulted in loss of revenue and making a lot of people idle. And you know the implication of that for the economy. So it is not just enough to come out and sing your own praise as an official of government, but you should also look at it critically. What have we been able to substantially bring to the table in terms of this diversification that we are talking about? Don't forget, I told you, I said all the past presidents we have had since 1999, Buhari has tried in the area of commitment to diversification back into the agri sector. We were coming from there before. All we are saying is that we should not rely on oil. We have other countries that also discover oil the same time we discover oil, but they never abandon their mainstay of their own economy. But we abandoned our own mainstay at that time for oil. And since oil is failing us, we are talking about diversification back into the agri sector. The point really is that we should not, because oil is failing us, we should, because that was our primary constituency, that was where we were coming from, and we were able to achieve a lot as a result of agriculture in those days. So we should harness it properly, and at the end of the day, get value for our money.
Well, let's quickly look at this rep summoning Ahmed Malami over alleged $2.4 billion unremitted oil fund. And the House of Representatives ad hoc committee investigating alleged loss of over $2.4 billion in revenue from illegal sale of 48 million barrels of crude oil in 2015 has summoned Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed and Attorney General of the Federation Abubakar Malami. Now, if you look at all of this, we've been having loss when it comes to our oil revenue. And now the ordinary man on the streets do not have access to such facilities, or will I say such resources. Now, with the House of Rep trying as much as possible to summon the finance minister, who is always like she's puzzled when it comes to some monetary policy, like what we saw with the Naira policy. And now she has to answer for it, and also Malami. How much more do we go back and forth when it comes to oil theft and, of course, our dwindling oil revenue itself?
Yes, in all of the proof that especially the House of Representatives had been able to carry it out, or the National Assembly by extension, how many people have been put on trial. We have the Attorney General of the Federation that is having a lot of baggage hanging on his neck from one financial controversy to the other, and he still decided to hold office because the president allowed that to happen. If you look at this particular allegation, DENIKE talked about crude oil theft that time. Now we are not even talking about crude oil theft. There is loss of revenue in the area of crude oil theft. There is also loss of revenue in the area of sales of crude oil.
$2.4 billion.
That is what we are talking about. If you look at the story very well, we also have the case of the whistleblower, wherein the Attorney General of the Federation will collect some percentage as a result of the whistleblower fee outside the country and fail to remit to government quota. So this is what we are talking about. The law of the Federation says that every revenue must be accrued to the Federation account. Every form of government revenue must go through the Federation account. That is what the provision of the law says. But we have a situation where crude is being sold, and some people, because they are powerful and they feel they call the shot in government, they will sit on this fund. So I wish the House of Representatives were. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm not excited, because this is God's going to end as one of those proofs that the National Assembly has carried out. At the end of the day, just bring up this revelation. We talk about it for some time, and nobody get prosecuted for them. Until and unless we get to a level where certain officials of government that are fund culpable in terms of misappropriation of public fund will go to jail. You put them on trial, and at the end of the day, prosecute them for it. But it's unfortunate that we hardly find such a situation. The House of Rep will go into all of this proof. At the end of the day, money could exchange hand, and that will be the end of the day. What good would this bring? Look at 2.4 billion. If you put that together in terms of current exchange rate, it will amount to close to 2 trillion. And if you have close to 2 trillion, what do you have? You are having good amount of money to be able to offset certain area within the economy. But you see this fund in people's private bank account at the detriment of the government, at the detriment of the provision of social amenity to the teeming population of the country. So this is where we find ourselves as a country, and it's quite unfortunate.
All right, let's look at this one that says, reportedly, APC INEC asked election petition court to dismiss Obi's petition challenging Tinubu's victory. Mr. Obi and the Labour Party, in their filing at the election petition court, accused the INEC and the APC of manipulating election results and all of that. We know how that goes. Now, between the APC and INEC, is this a collaboration? Because isn't INEC credited to be independent? And what may INEC's interest in this matter be?
INEC conducted this election, hence the INEC interest. The body and the onus of proof lie majorly on INEC. I know when I saw this story, people who had political coloration to it. DENIKE, can you still record that it was INEC that appealed the case of Ademola Adeleke against Oyetola? Are you aware?
Yes.
INEC appealed and proved the fact that the election they conducted in Osun they validated that result. They appeal against the candidate of the APC. So if anything is wrong with any election, the body is on INEC to go to the court and prove beyond reasonable doubt that they have delivered a credible election so far. So there's something like collaboration. INEC really need to show us that the election that they have conducted has a lot of merit and it can stand the test of time as a matter of law. So in the case of Osun, for example, that I just cited, Adeleke tribunal ruling, but INEC actually did, because at every point in time, because the constitution confers on INEC the responsibility to organize, undertake. So having gone through these processes and the winner is returned elected, if there is any petition against that particular election, INEC will go to the court and defend what they have done. So that is what INEC has done so far.
But INEC asked them to go to court, right? And now they're asking the court to dismiss the petition. Why not ride it out and let us see it to the end?
INEC, the court is saying, the opposition party is saying that INEC manipulated the result. And the INEC is saying this petition lack merit because elections were conducted. Just like in the west of the Labour Party, for example, they will say that where they won, the election was credible. But in other places, the results were rigged. The case is in court already. This is not the first election that the case will go to court. I don't know why so much noise about this case going to court. Let me give you a shocker. At the end of the day, the tribunal may go the way that Nigerians were not expecting. Because the candidates in this election, they are already deviating. Do I tell you why? Obi said he won the election, that he will prove it in court. Now, the major petition in court is about Tinubu drug trafficking. On the part of the APC, they are not even saying again, emphasis is not on the fact that we won the election, we are going to prove that we win. They are saying that Obi should be disqualified because as at the time he was nominated Labour Party presidential candidate, he was still a member of the APC. So if care is not taken, who won the election, who rigged the election, who manipulated the election may not matter by the tribunal at the end of the day. Because what we expected before was that you said you won the election, go to the court and prove it. But now you have gone to the court, you are to appeal to the court to disqualify a candidate that he ought not to have even contested that election at all. And the other party is also saying that you were not also supposed to have conduct. For example, if opposition party decide to go to court against the governor, INEC will stand by the governor and say, this is election that we have conducted, this is our result, is valid and it is authentic, pure and simple.
All right, before we go and take this moment, let's quickly look at this from Daily Trust. It said leaked audio, federal government ACF orders blast Obi. And of course, I'm also looking at the rider. Clear yourself, Haneza challenges LP candidate. It's played to divert attention from Obi's petition. That's what our Afenifere leader is saying. Now, is Obi the problem of Nigeria? Because obviously this is an audio tape that was leaked between Oyedepo of the Winners Chapel and of course Obi talking about pray for me, they are trying to take over, looking at religious wise and the rest. But then, is this the major problem of the country? Because Lai Mohammed went as far as going to London to grant press interview to say that Obi must clarify why he had that audio. And now, is this the major problem of the country? And is still making headlines there. And you have the ACF also reacting. What's really the interest in all of this?
It can't be the major problem of the country. And it is not. That's just the truth. But we can't but talk about it. Imagine if it is on the flip side. You understand? We will still have to talk about it. I think what Lai Mohammed is saying is that let Peter Obi come out to either deny or confirm it.
Is he a DSS official? What's the position of Lai Mohammed?
He's speaking for the federal government.
But then is he not taking it too far?
Don't forget, he's a politician. So he has every right to take it too far. But we should read it between the lines, whether what is proper is what he's saying. You understand? So as far as the video leak is the audio leak is concerned, Obi's aide or the spokesperson for the Labour Party has said that conversation actually existed. But at some point it was twisted. But Obi did not talk about whether it was the correct version, whether it existed or not. You understand? But I've told you times without number that as far as this audio is concerned, personally, I don't have any ground on which the law enforcement agency can hold him, because every other person in that particular context will have called what people they refer to as their spiritual father at one time or the other. You understand? Pray for me. Look at this. I even went as far as saying that some of the states Obi was afraid of, he eventually lost in some of these states because he knew that he was going to lose. He was not strong in that state. Sure, you understand? So somebody said, morally speaking, what the bishop did was wrong. I said, legally speaking, the bishop has not broken any law. Somebody called you. He said you are going to assure your support. Of course, you have spoken to your people, and at the end of the day, the result is still the way the result is today. So we should just allow the sleepy dog to lie. But the truth of the matter is that stuff like this, people will continue to talk about it in the polity. Because if he had been on the other side, people will see how to talk about it. Look at this drug offense that we are talking about Ashiwaju. 1993, 30 years ago. He was having that same issue while he contested as governor of Lagos State. He was a 2-time former governor of Lagos State. So is there any law is there a separate law that can make you become governor and another separate law that can make you become the president? So the point I'm making really is that stuff like this, you can't stop people from talking about it. They will talk about it. If it is on the other side, people will talk about it. But as far as I'm concerned, like I said, and I will continue to maintain my ground, I do not see material substance in that particular audio that can nail Peter Obi as far as the law is concerned. If anybody prove otherwise, let them prove it.
Okay, we have to pay some bills now. We'll go on this short break. We'll be back shortly.
FM
94.9.
Sleepwalking through the afternoon. Sleepwalking through the afternoon. Sleepwalking through the afternoon. Don't live life on repeat. Enjoy your break moments with Five Alive Pulpy, a treat that awakens your senses and fills you with zest. So feel those moments with the indulgent sensations of Five Alive Pulpy. Five Alive, filled with life.
So, the first thing you do when you wake up is check out highlights. And then you remember, gotta take the kids to school. Almost dropped the ball there, baller. Can you meet your deadlines without ever missing the game? Now that's a true baller. You make it to date night on game night, but still catch the game, right? Come on, baller.
What a goal!
We bring you the best leagues on any screen, wherever you are, from only 3,200 naira per month. Live from Supersport on Showmax Pro. Sign up on showmax.com.
Little cup, sir, in my little chest, sir. Anytime I cough, sir, it makes a heavy sound,
I
sir.
see. You have a cough. I know just what you need. I'll give you Uniplex. It will clear your chest fast. Fast, fast, fast. Clear your chest fast.
Uniplex. Uniplex.
Uniplex cough syrup gives you relief from sore throat, cold and chesty coughs. Manufactured by Daily Needs Industries Limited. Uniplex cough syrup is for children and adults.
Uniplex. Uniplex.
If symptoms persist after 2 days, consult your doctor.
Techno celebrates your natural healthy glow without hiding your imperfections. With a 32 MP glowing selfie camera, G88 processor plus game turbo, hard-wearing stirring glass, and a 256 GB plus 16 GB large memory on the new Techno Spark 10, you will enjoy better mobile experience with bigger camera, among other upgrades. That's not all. Visit any Techno outlet to get the beautiful on-demand smartphone for your selfies and walk away with a Techno X Fireboy headset, up to 5 GB data from MTN, and many more gifts. Techno, stop at nothing.
You're listening to 32 FM 94.9.
All right, you're welcome back. It's still on to Break It On Papers Review here on 32 FM 94.9, and it's right about time to open the phone lines and also take your messages on Facebook. Do remember we are live on Facebook and also on YouTube, 32 FM 949 Ibadan. And of course, we have our first caller this morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, DENIKE.
Good morning.
Morning, GBOLABO. Good morning, Austin. Actually, Austin, on diversification that Femi Adesina talked about, you've just hit the nail. You've just said it the way it ought to be. But there is a question I ask now. Probably it's a very funny question. I want to know, is Buhari still contesting? Because I do not understand. I actually think the man have already said he wants to go and rest. Femi Adesina, Garba Shehu, and of course, Alhaji Lai Mohammed coming out now, still telling us as if there is campaign. For God's sake, I don't think all these things they are saying now should come up. We are all looking forward to when the president-elect will be sworn in so that we can move on. They should stop all this crying to hail and is it hail or do whatever they are doing. We beg them, please. This shouldn't come up now. Diversification, good Lord did it with Additional and their life. Yet when they were going, it's time they should realize this thing is over. Good morning.
All right, thank you very much. 0705 5000 949 0809 7000 949. International numbers +234 906 2000 949. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Adeshri from UI. Somebody asked a question. Why the killings every day in Benue and nobody to say anything? The government of the day led by Buhari and his party, they are just watching it. It's killing every day. However, my own reply to that is that if Benue people, if they cannot go and get their own nomination, let them convert to another election. That will stop the killing. If you know, you know. Those are the best of the day.
All right. 0705 5000 949. We also are live on Facebook. It is facebook.com/32FM 949 Ibadan. Tolokwe Adeyemi on Facebook says, good morning. Oil theft in Nigeria is an organized crime perpetrated by the people in government itself, because there's no way any common man can move close to that place. And where would they even sell them if at all they have access to it? The insincerity of this current APC-led federal government is second to none, because how many people have been arrested since Tompolo men have discovered some illegal pipelines? This shows that they know the saboteurs in the system, and as such, they are just hoodwinking people. Austin, do you have any thing to say about any of the questions or react to any of the things that have been said so far?
Yes, I align myself with the position of that tweet that oil theft is an organized crime. Yes, I have said that repeatedly. It's not a business for the common man because it's also very capital intensive. So they get more money from the government to steal more money from the government. That is the way it is done. So the government should look into it. Now that there is pipeline surveillance, I think the issue of oil theft is reducing. But the bone of contention majorly now is the crude that were sold by government official, over $2.4 billion US. Where is this proceed? Where is this money? So Attorney General of the Federation and the Minister of Finance should go to the National Assembly as a matter of urgency to provide answer, because $2.4 billion US is huge in terms of the value.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. This is John Olariwaju from Agbo. On the issue of Minister of Attorney General, Minister for Justice, Attorney General, alleged against him. That is why I'm always going against subsidy issue. That you don't need to say you want to remove the subsidy. You need to find those people that are in charge of enforcement this thing is behind the fraud. Those are the things that we need to put in place. Even if you remove the subsidy, that doesn't mean those that are engaging in the fraud in oil sector, they will not be there again. Why can't you fight them first? Even if you want to remove the subsidy, fight those that are behind this fraud in oil sector. When you fight them, I know that the kind of investment they were getting from that oil will be enough to take out the CTC instead of putting more pressure, more problem on the CTC. Thank you and good morning.
All right, thank you very much. Austin, this headline here says, plot to scuttle handover to Tinubu, political assassinations loom. Primate Theophilus Olabayo, do you think that we should be worried about May 29 as it approaches?
Yes, we may not necessarily be worried, but we should be concerned. Because if the heaven falls, it falls on everybody. You know, some people told me that there won't be handover. They don't want handover to take place. Let there be a interim government. And I just told them that, well, it will affect some of the people you love in government too. Some of the politicians that you love. They think interim government is about Tinubu alone. No, calling for interim government is just like calling the military to take over. Because the last interim government, however unconstitutional, we saw what happened. It made it very easy for the military to overrun the government at that particular point in time. So let us not, because of one's political setback or the other, loss in an election, we call for heaven to fall. Because there is no party as it were that is not properly represented.
All right,
as far as this election is concerned.
Sorry, Austin. We take this on Facebook. This Sulaiman Sheriff says, good morning to 32 FM crew. What Femi Adesina said is not the reality. In which way President Buhari diversified Nigeria's economy? Why is the pyramid rise? If our local production is very huge in Nigeria, the compounding problem of 41% of unemployment, 21% of inflation, and 133 multi-dimensionally poverty would not minimize in this country.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Ayo from Ibadan here.
All right, please make your point.
Okay. For my own this thing, some people are thinking that this interim government has been sponsored by opposition party. It is a lie. It was being sponsored by these people in government, particularly Malami, Emefiele, and other people, because they believe that if this new government comes, Nigeria may hear the thing they have never expected in time of drought before. So they were making every effort to make sure that another government is not coming to protect their irregularity in their application. That is my opinion.
All right, thank you very much. I think we'll just take one more comment on our Facebook and we have to leave the studios. Good morning. To me, the so-called leaders who are the ones responsible for oil theft, because an average man who knows nothing about petroleum will not see a drop, not to talk of barrels. We need divine intervention for Nigeria to be great again. All right, it's time for us to leave the studios. Also, any final thoughts as we...
Yes, there's no need for interim government. Like the caller said, those in government are also scheming to have an interim government. So all of that should be a thing of the past. Those who have cases, let them follow due process, pursue your case, get justice at the end of the day. Let this country move forward.
Thank you so much, Austin Dumo, for doing this with us this morning. I am DENIKE at Dimwago.
And I'm GBOLABO in Moscow. Bye for now.